Cześć, z tej strony KimaruPl, witam i zapraszam na kanale Strony 2. Dzisiaj właśnie na bagna będziemy tą misję robili, tą misję czwartą na Kratos, gdzie będziemy walczyli z Kratosem. Może to przejdźmy do misji. Tak, tą wreszcie do tej 25 dojdziemy po niej. Dobrze, to przejdźmy do misji. Akurat też to co zacząłem też trochę grać, to też mam zaczęte i mogę go tutaj bez problemu. Są zapisane, są synchronizowane, bo stary woli odpala przy tym. Całe młody co miałem mi się spiertoliły i nie mogę dojść z tej serii, dlatego to jeszcze znajmuję, że może zrobię.
King Robert was defeated, but there were more heroes whose life the ultimately vindictive evil was after. Here in the swamplands, the demigod Kratos was just leading the Alliance's troops against feral Naga clans. They had retreated here after the collapse of the Dark Army. It would seem sensible to first strike an alliance with these Nagas before the impatient evil squared up against Kratos.
Dobrze, to mamy. Ono będzie na bardziej.
The gold-greedy evil built the first underground treasury, thus laying the foundations for insane amounts of hoarded treasure.
Właśnie, trzeba browar postawić i potem majsterkowicza jednego, żeby był. Ale mogłem tu zrobić, żeby to skarbca i tu ma. Najpierw to ogarnijmy to, co mamy tu w tym przemówionym skarbcu. Rower nie musi być taki duży. Jest tak, żeby się przede mieć większy, no. A to też jest. Kurde, tu zrobić?
The first brewery was built underground. Later, orcs and goblins would get obscenely drunk there, and then meander through the dungeons, slurring their words and singing lewd songs. Some creatures had been hiding in a secret. The target of the bloodthirsty evil's vengeance was a demigod by the name of Kratos, an extremely goody-goody, good deeds doer. The very mention of his name left anyone from the dark side with a nasty taste in the mouth. the Alliance had discovered the presence of the ultimate evil. This had nothing to do with a tip-off from a certain narrator who wanted to increase the tension. It was pure coincidence. The good people responded, as you might expect, with a direct attack on the dungeon.
Akurat nic. Orków trzeba zrobić tyle.
A tinkerer's cave had been built. Soon traps and doors in the dungeon would make any would-be hero's life more tricky.
Jest odsadzę któregoś tyle.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. Pleased Evil's hard-working goblins had made plans for a new room, a guard room, where creatures could patrol and keep a lookout for heroes. Immediately, the ultimate evil got down to having this room researched. It's payday.
Nie, niech wydobywają, bo na razie nie mam złota. Kurde, na niego weszło. A do złota chciałem użyć, a nic. Chciałem na gnojka użyć, żeby więcej złota wydobywał. Musimy je trzeba mi zapłacić, tylko na razie złota nie mam. I jeszcze poszerzyli mi...
Out there, the swamplands looked bleak and unfriendly. Not an area Charlie would serve it.
Będzie tu. Ja goblina mogę użyć, nic. Jeśli tylko do wpłaty warbi.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
No, mam już ogarnięte. szpital, żeby się ich leczyć i mogę już wartownie nam tu, żeby się zbierały. To jest, to mogą sobie robić.
A mysterious shrine underground, which was not yet available. Because something like this spells work for underpaid graphic artists, one can assume that it is likely to come into play at some time or another. Spiders have spread throughout the underground.
Czyli na miejscu gigantyczny skarbiec jakby.
It's payday.
Będzie bitów nam.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. Brumat się tu zrobi małego, tu dostrzeżenie. Będzie. There was a strange rock formation in the east of the dungeon. Whatever could it mean?
też jeszcze sobie tu postawić te drzwi.
The guard room was researched and ready for construction. Creatures that were thrown there by the hand of terror would keep watch and be especially vigilant for intruders. They were able to alert other creatures near the guard room and summon them for reinforcement as well.
A pułapki porobimy jeszcze, bo mam masę tego. Kurde, czy mi starczy już? No nie starczy. Została mi tylko jedna papka do wykładania za 600. Już mogę ruszyć, to jeszcze chyba będę się zbadać ten obszar jeszcze. Dwóch orków zostawić w bazie, jak ci trzej będą szli. Szkoda, że mi w orka weszło, a nie tego bym sobie przypomniał.
Out there, the swamplands look bleak and unfriendly. Not an area Charlie would serve in. There are enemies in your dungeon.
No się podobałem nam. No, tutaj zbudujemy i będzie.
There was a strange rock formation in the east of the dungeon. Whatever could it mean?
No.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
No.
It's payday.
Dobrze. W końcu on przenosi. Dobra. Okej. Browar dajesz. Dungeon już w miarę będzie. Ta rozbudowa lochu jest. zablokuję to tylko jakby... Nie możemy ruszyć. Ja też tu warta mógłbym. Tylko ruch ostrzegawczy i tyle już.
Some creatures had been hiding in a secret room. They joined the ultimate evil. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Łapka zadziałała. No nic, idziemy już na górę.
The exploration keen evil sent its troops to the surface for the first time. The swamplands spread out before them.
Trochę za bardzo
The next
rozmyślają.
step was to either find the Nagas and recruit them, or be massacred by the army of the Alliance. It was a difficult decision.
Tam zbieram złoto, to ostrzegawczy, to zrobię drugie od dołu. Zresztą to jest ledwo co. Już to co robię, mógłbym sobie tu i tu sobie tak domknąć. Tak. I tu wokół skarbiec porobić. Idziemy do góry, bo tam w dole nie ma nic ciekawego oprócz bazy wroga.
The army of the ultimate evil could view the temple from the top of the hill. And it did indeed not look good for the Naga. The nauseatingly good hero Kratos personally led the Alliance into battle and was forcing the snake creatures to retreat. Only his death would deliver the temple back into the hands of evil. Well, that could be arranged. It's payday. The troops of the ultimate evil stumbled upon a patrol of the Alliance that had caught some Nagas. Of course, they immediately set about wiping out the much-hated heroes. Oh, and by the way, you could of course also set those Nagas free. The last fighter in the patrol was defeated. The creatures of the Horde cheered. Oh yes, and set the Naga free as well. They were overjoyed to join the ultimate evil. The eager for new unit's evil sent his creatures further towards where it expected the Naga camp to be. The Nagas kept up their fight to free their unholy temple from the Alliance. If the ultimate evil was to help them win it back, then their support would be guaranteed. Since that fitted perfectly with the planned revenge on Kratos, it was the ideal solution. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
No idziemy. Tu mamy. No już to idziemy już na górze już. Teraz podziemy się zajął mocniej. Tak, potrzebujemy jeszcze dwóch orków, żeby pilnowali oprócz tych to tu mieć oddział.
The approaching horde startled a few animals. Dinner. The horde defeated the bears with ease and stocked up on bear meat. However, as bear meat is not actually a resource in the game, this was utterly irrelevant. A small group of Alliance troops had gathered here. The presence of the Nagas ensured that the all-seeing evil could see even the cloaked units.
Dotrzemy przynajmniej to tak. Rozbudować solo. Zbieramy gold.
At last, the horde reached the Naga's camp. They were not able to offer the ultimate evil much help. However, they spoke of an artifact that was hidden deep down in the mountain. It would make defeating the Alliance a piece of cake. The Nagas opened a portal to the artifact using their ancient magic. The insidious evil debated briefly whether it was worth the risk. Finally, however, it decided it was only a question of its creatures' lives, and of course, the ultimate evil didn't give a toss about them. Payday! The horde had passed through the Naga portal and found themselves in an old altar chamber, in the center of which lay a very ancient-looking object. This had to be the artifact. Some creatures appeared to be guarding it. I don't believe it. Is there really still a guard at the artifact? My goodness, my grandma would have finished the whole game by now. Move your butt, do something.
Dungeonu jest to przejście. Dobrze, to mam.
A teensy-weensy hint. These artifact guards are preventing you from continuing. Get rid of them. Once the artifact guards were eliminated, the artifact began to glow. It almost seemed to be waiting to be picked up. It looked as if the artifact would fit perfectly into the mysterious altar base that lay deep within the dungeon of the ultimate evil. Maybe it would be a good idea to place it there. The artifact was currently lifeless. It needed some magic. The expanding evil's creature's next task was to expose some mana crystals. This mana would be necessary to charge the artifact up.
O kurde, za dużo kazałem do roboty. Wyrabiam się w to. 200 złota.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. The mana crystals had finally been dug up. Magic crackled in the air. Oh no, wait, that's just the popcorn I'm making. But a mana crystal on its own was really of no value to the ultimate evil. It would take a crystal chamber to make this valuable asset usable. A room was quickly installed under the crystal.
Dobrze, jest na fajdę. Mam więcej na fajdę, więc jest ok.
Payday!
Produkcyjne.
The crystal chamber shone with the brilliance of a freshly painted room. To exploit this effectively, the success-enabling evil was now able to recruit Nagas. At this exact moment, the clan conveniently placed some of these snake-like beings at its disposal.
Kurde, padła mi faktycznie. No i kurde, to taki dobry usłyszek. Problem z pusznięciem właśnie.
Apparently, it had not escaped the notice of the Alliance's magicians that something disturbing was going on in the underground. So they decided to mount powerful attacks on the dungeon. But the ultimate evil had been warned, that's what I'm doing right now, by the way, and created such a formidable defense that it would have brought tears to the eyes of any tower defense player.
Też tam są, że tam jeszcze jest tylko pod kryształ.
A cry for help from a few Nagas trapped in a very remote area reached the ultimate evil while it was defending the dungeon. Maybe they could be saved by using a spell, which was ready to be unlocked in the crystal chamber. Creatures of the unstoppable evil continued work on filling the artifact with magic. Wave-by-wave tactics of the Alliance had so far proven unsuccessful. So, a strategic genius had decided to open up a second entrance to the underground in order to send, well, wave after wave of units into the dungeon. Play me the song of magic. Oh yes, the artifact continued to fill itself with more delicious...
To jest to, że mleczące.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. The creatures of the unstoppable evil continued work on filling the artifact with magic. Enemies have entered the dungeon. The ultimate evil had learned a spell. This would enable the Nagas to be rescued. It immediately set about doing so. The spell ensured the Nagas' safe passage into the dungeon of the ultimate evil. Excellent work. It's payday. The artifact was almost bursting with energy. It was now producing mana independently and ready to stand by the ultimate evil's side in the battle for the temple. It also gave the ultimate evil access to a few more magic spells. Now it was time to take the temple and destroy Kratos. The ultimate evil gathered all the troops together to attack in one devastating wave.
Szkoda, że... O kur...
Have entered the dungeon. enemies have entered the dungeon. The unspeakable evil's creatures approached the Alliance's camp. An impressive dam towered into the sky in the background. However, this path led to absolutely nowhere. Ultimate evil, or more precisely its creatures, destroyed the Alliance's camp with the greatest of ease. It considered having a luxury hotel for stressed dungeon managers built there.
Mieliśmy rozwać Kratosa.
Together with its Naga allies, the army of the ultimate evil stormed the Naga temple. The battle began.
No, udało się.
It wouldn't be long before Kratos was defeated. Just a few more blows and he would fall. Hey, wait, what do you think you're doing? Come back, you coward!
No, udało się.
Seeing that defeat was inevitable, Kratos opted for a strategic retreat, leaving the temple in the ultimate evil's power. The gathered evilness then burst the nearby dam, and the Alliance's camp disappeared under waves of water with a very satisfactory gurgling sound.
No. Udało się.
Despite the
Trwało,
soggy end to
ale
the
jest.
Alliance, the ultimate evil was livid. It had just been robbed of a delicious revenge. But, if I may be so bold, that was yet to come, I thought.
No.
Although Kratos managed to
Tak.
escape, the Horde continued on a glorious triumphal march. Now the time had come to set an example. A deed of particularly heinous evilness would inspire the creatures of the Horde to greater things. To this purpose, the Horde moved deep into the wealthy heartland of the Alliance. It was on the hunt for a creature whose sugar-sweet kindness and cordiality would rot the tusks of an orc. A unicorn.
No, to w kolejnym odcinku nic idzie. Dzisiaj właśnie tą czwartą misję ogarnęliśmy. Tutaj będzie właśnie misja piąta. Tego potrwa, to dziękuję za oglądanie w następnym odcinku. Trochę się już krótce, no, na razie, pa.